So this is a real incident happened with somebody I know. This person is a manager in a managerial role, mid-management role for many years. Let's say he's earning around 15 lakhs and one of his team members is earning around 11 lakhs. Now what happens is the manager is working in the same company for many years and the team member has actually switched few jobs when he came into his team. So he worked for a few months and then the team member again started to give interviews and eventually he landed offer. Now that offer was for 17 lakhs. Now, when this person resigned, the manager asked, "Hey, why are you resigning?" He said, "For money." And he said, "Okay, we will kind of match the offer. How much are you getting?" So this guy said, "I am getting 17." Now the manager is thinking, "I am getting 15, 16 and this guy is getting more than me. And this guy is so less in experience than me. Then why is this happening?" Now, a lot of people who are in managerial role can relate to this. The numbers may change. You can think about the number as 25 lakhs versus somebody getting an offer of 30 lakhs who is junior to you. The point of sharing this particular event or story is that as a manager, you have a role to play and you have a skill set. Now, with that role and skill set, the company will have a budget and they cannot pay you beyond that budget. Versus the team member that you are managing may actually have a lot of niche skills, special skills, which are probably not available in the market, or maybe very few people know that. And for that, the companies are ready to pay more money. So this may happen that a team member of yours may actually earn more than you. So as a manager, you don't need to get into why am I getting less than this person, because it is about the skill, it is about the demand supply. If you are a technical person, you would have probably made similar money or more money, but you are in a managerial cadre and you need to ask a question whether you are getting the right pay for your skill set as a manager and for your experience as a manager. If you are in the right bracket for that, then that's it. You don't need to worry about how much your team member is making. They can and they will make more than you if they have a skill set and experience and expertise which is in high demand and less supply. So that's pretty much it. Don't judge yourself or compare yourself with your team members. Another issue with a lot of managers is they are generic managers, which means they know the project management stuff, they can do people management, governance and all of that, but they don't have any handle over any technology. They are hands off. They've stopped doing technical work for a very long time, or they are not even functional, right? So either you have to be technical or functional. So if you are not knowing functionality or if you don't know domain knowledge, you are a generic manager, then please understand that you are highly replaceable. There will be some junior manager who will probably earn half as your salary and will be able to do the people management, process management, project management. So what makes you unique is your ability to do project management, people management, plus you also have a handle on the technical stuff. When I say handle, I don't mean that you should be able to code. If you're able to do it, great, but otherwise you should be able to do conversations with technical people. Let's say if there is a technical discussion happening with architects, you should be able to contribute. At least you should be able to ask the right questions or maybe contribute on proposals or solutions. So I think as a manager, if you are a technical manager, then you are probably more in demand versus just being a generalist. Similarly, if you are a functional manager, then probably your value is a lot more than just being a generalist. So if you're a manager, stop comparing yourself with a team member. They can earn more, and stop just operating in the general project management bracket. Either you become a technical PM, learn some new technology, new skill set, which may be aligned with your past experience, something which you can catch up on. It can be either in cloud or AI or something else. You don't need to learn all of it, but you need to learn something which is in line with your past experience or something which is in demand in your company, in your department. See how you can get trained internally and all of that. The same goes with functional people. If you have some past functional experience, some domain experience, see how you can revive that and try to see if you can develop domain expertise or domain knowledge over a period of time. These things cannot happen overnight, but the intent is that if you want to survive in the game for longer term, you need to have a label of a functional manager or a technical manager. And especially maybe a word of caution for people who are coming from testing background. If you're a test manager, then yes, you are probably going to be in a bit of problematic situation, because the roles or the number of job openings for testers and testing managers are reducing anyway, right? So you need to think of, okay, how can I transition into something different? Maybe basis my knowledge of the business, can I go into a business analyst role, senior business analyst role, or maybe into a project manager full-fledged role, not just a test manager role? Think about it. I mean, you need to think about those options. Just being a test manager may not be a wise thing to do for a very long time. All right, so those were some of my thoughts about how managers can probably sustain for a longer time. Let me know what you think about it in comments. If you like the video, hit the like button and share it in your WhatsApp groups. I will see you in another video soon. Take care and bye for now.